Tēnā koutou, ko Murdoch te tangata o te iwi o Clan Donald, no te kotarana, te whenua o Tukutupuna, ka haere ukutupuna ki Otopoti, ingare e tipu ai au ki raru i te maru o Mokateri, ki roto i ngā Waimakariri hoki. Tēnā koutou.
Tēnā koutou katoa. No Ingarangi mei Airana, Okutupuna, I whānau mai au, I Ingarangi, I te waki au I Ingarangi me whakatū. Nō reira, hei Pākehā ahau. Ko Wendy tōku māma, ko Roy tōku pāpa. Hei o anō, anai nei, ko te ukaipo, ko Otipoti. Ke te whare wānanga o tākau, ahau e mahi ana. Ko Alison Douglas, tōku horangatira. Ko Peter Crampton, tōku ingoa. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā rā tātou katoa. My journey with Te Reo started with my first proper job as a general practitioner in Porirua. And that was hugely enjoyable for me, and it had been my first proper exposure to the Te Reo Māori and Te Ao Māori. And I've always said to myself, I will learn the Reo Māori properly. And I'm 60, I turned 60 this year. And 4 years ago, I realised I better get on with that. I enrolled with Te Wānanga o Aotearoa, and I'm now in the 4th year of that program. And I would say with cautious optimism that I'm at a conversational level.
I didn't have a moment like where there's something or one event that got me on the journey. I'm a real self-learner, so most of it was initially searching out books and other sources and self-teaching. As time's gone on, my interest has gone up. Yes, I think learning any language as an adult really takes you back to really being a child in a way, in terms of having to relearn what it's like to be, start with a low competence, and therefore you need to have the kind of confidence to be able to learn and to express it. Look, I know no better way than just throwing yourself into it, and that's the biggest challenge, I think, for people to feel brave enough to have those opportunities. I think you need to build up to it. I mean, I've spoken Reo on a marae, and I think just to be that as your first opportunity would be quite scary. Building up to that, but also finding the safe environment in which to learn, I think that's pretty key.
In the case of learning the Reo Māori in a contemporary Aotearoa context, the major challenges here in Otipoti at least, we're not exposed to it on a day-to-day basis. Now, I work in a Māori workplace, so in fact, I've had a number of conversations today already in Te Reo Māori. But stepping outside that workplace, there is simply no exposure at all. And that speaks to the tragedy of language oppression, suppression, and diminishment, which has occurred over 180 years. And it is, to my mind, a total tragedy. My vision would be a totally bilingual Aotearoa. I think there's 2 points for me. One is, I passionately want it to be an everyday language. I would love my children to have grown up learning the Reo so that it's a natural language at home. I bitterly regret that's not the case. I think the issues around cultural appropriation need to be kept in front of mind, talked about and thought about. But I struggle to see the Reo being restored to a full working everyday language for everyone in Aotearoa unless a really big effort is made to make it such. But I recognise there's ongoing discussions on that point. For me, I want to be a Reo Māori speaker, and I want to be hearing the Reo, it's such a beautiful language, and speaking it in everyday circumstances.
My pathway is to carve off some time to devote much more to it, and I mean, it's a continual practice, but for me it's the time. I think I've seen in myself the confidence has grown, and I will certainly be looking at multiple avenues to improve.
I aspire to being fluently bilingual. I'm nowhere near that point. I want to be. So I'm just going to continue on that journey. I don't care what the end point looks like, I'm just going to carry on.